What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. Today, we are talking some Houston Texans football. As we know, the schedule release was just a few days ago, and I've already given you some of my win-loss predictions, some of my bold predictions, and some of my gut predictions. You can find it in that video right there saying my gut prediction for the Houston Texans win-loss record. And we could beat that conversation down till it's dead and blue in the face. But we're here to give a different conversation. The conversation around national media for the Houston Texans is that they're still underdogs. And despite the hype around them this previous year, you really let down the national media and you really let down the narratives that the Houston Texans can be a legitimate Super Bowl team. In the AFC, there are top three teams. It is the Ravens, the Bills, and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it has always been those three teams. And until the Houston Texans can get out of their way and really push those teams and finally become that powerhouse, they got to get through, in my opinion, 5 games this year that could really legitimize this Houston Texans team and could put themselves standing 2 feet down as one of the powerhouses of not just the AFC, but the NFL in general. So let's go ahead and get into the first game of the season. I'm going not the LA Rams, but your home opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To me, there is a lot of weight when it comes to this game. Baker Mayfield and that loaded offense, damn good running backs, and improved defense. A team that went toe-to-toe last year in the playoffs, almost had the Commanders' number, the same Commanders that went to the NFC Championship game, who were competing against the Super Bowl champs in the Philadelphia Eagles. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are loaded, but so are the Houston Texans. You can't afford to lose this game. This game is a good barometer for the Texans to see where they're at early in the season. If you're 2-0, fantastic. You can't go 0-2, though. You got to either split or you got to start the season 2-0 because you got that Ravens team that's lingering in there. But to me, even though you're facing the Ravens at a good time this year, should not be injured, knock on wood. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a big game early in this season, but I think the second game.
CJ throwing downfield and caught by Nico, 25-20, breaks a tackle, 15, 10-5, rock and roll, touchdown, Houston!
But I think the second game against the San Francisco 49ers, that is number 2 on my list, is one of the barometer tests for the Houston Texans. The 49ers did not make the playoffs last year. They were 6-11. They battled with a lot of injuries and a lot of letdown play from their team overall. But this is the same 49ers team 2 years ago that was in the Super Bowl, that they've been in 3 straight before last year, NFC Conference Championship games, and they went to the Super Bowl in 2023. The Texans need a win against the San Francisco 49ers. It helps the narratives. It helps that the Texans could finally swing their whole franchise into the right direction, that they could be considered a contender and not just another pretender. All right, the next game on the list, game number 3, it's week 12, the Thursday night football game against the tough Buffalo Bills. This is a Thursday night game, 7:15 p.m. You are coming off on the road the week before against the Tennessee Titans. Everybody in the NFL is going to be going, oh, well, the Houston Texans are going to come off on the road. Then they got to go back home. And yeah, that's a lot better for us. But it is a short schedule, and they're not going to give you a chance to beat Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. How you change that narrative is by getting a win against the Buffalo Bills. Not only did you do it last year and you had Josh Allen look like Josh Allen's rookie year, going 7 for 30 in that game. The Houston Texans almost slipped up, though, right at the end. Should be a fantastic rematch. We'll see if DeMeco Ryans and his crew can get Josh Allen to replicate what was a horrible offensive output. The Houston Texans, a much improved defense. The offense is still a work in progress. We're still trying to see how the pieces of the puzzle fit together for the offensive line. But this Texans team can, again, we're trying to change the underdog narrative. You get a win here in a short week. That shows a whole lot to the NFL that you are very serious moving forward. Going on to the fourth game of what is the barometer test for the Houston Texans. This list cannot have the Kansas City Chiefs not on here. The Chiefs are the fourth game that you got to figure it out. The NFL is going to have that narrative that the Houston Texans does not have a chance in the world against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs at this time should be competing for a number 1 seed, and for rightfully so, they deserve that conversation. They're Super Bowl champs. The Houston Texans, if they really want to get this narrative out the window, on the road, in the cold, because it's December 7th, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be cold. The Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium, you will not have a chance. You will be underdogs for this game. I already know it. The Houston Texans winning this game shows to me, and this is the biggest one of the 5 teams listed here, the Houston Texans could have a statement game.
Hey, we're Houston. Hey, take no 3. 1, 2, 3. Pass it.
Here against Kansas City. Will it happen? I don't entirely know, but the Chiefs game is always going to be a big game for any NFL team. When they look at their schedule, they see the Chiefs, they circle it, and they go, damn it, we want to show out and show up to the NFL that we are legit. And the Houston Texans are not in those top 3 conversations when it comes to the AFC. It could change with a big win against what is the team that took out the AFC and the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. The Bills were just with them in the AFC Conference Championship game. These games mean more. These games can change the entire season for the Houston Texans, and it could get this city even more louder than it's ever been before. The last game I got on this schedule is no other than the road game on week 17 against the LA Chargers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Harley, we beat the hell out of the Chargers last year. Belt to ass type performance last year. I know, but considering where this has fallen on the schedule, when you look at the rest of that schedule and how it plays out, if you lose to Kansas City, not only do you have Kansas City, but right after it, you have week 15 Arizona, you have week 16 the Raiders, and then after that week 17 game, you have week 18 Indianapolis. Those are 3 very winnable games that you should be favored in. On the road at LA, if you win that game, you could be potentially looking at a 4-game winning streak. And now the narrative is that the Houston Texans are one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs, riding a 4-game winning streak. Who knows what happens? You don't want to face a team this hot. You always want to be hot during the playoffs. That's going to be the narrative. The Houston Texans, not only did they beat the crap out of the Chargers last year, you want to prove it again. You go into their crib, you take their chain, you eat their food, you make their mom make your damn food, and you leave the plate on the damn table for the Chargers, not their mom, their Chargers, to pick up the damn plate. That's how you go into that place. You go in there and like, man, They can't touch us. That's how you got to go into that game. That's how you win this game. And the Houston Texans, with these 5 games right here, that could ultimately change the narrative for this team that has always been the underdogs, the team that they're just not there. They're the Saturday wildcard 330 team. I know we're sick and tired of this narrative. So the Houston Texans, if they want to escape that bubble and break free, they got to win not only maybe 3 out of the 5 games I've listed here. They can't win 2 of them. They've got to win 3 out of these 5 games listed here to really show to the NFL that the Houston Texans are not pretenders. They are legit contenders. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. How do you feel about my 5 games I've listed to test the Houston Texans, a barometer test, to see a strength test, see where they are with the rest of the NFL? Let me know whether or not you agree or disagree down in the comments. You can find me and Ruben on Bleacher Report every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. live on the Bleacher Report app. All you got to do is search Houston Texans and it will immediately come up. Again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Central. Catch us live. Myself and Ruben, 713 Houston Sports. Make sure to follow him as well. Make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 15,000 subs. Super appreciative of every single one of y'all that has watched the video. Make sure to check out any more of my videos down below. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.